The next letter is Ra. The makhraj of Ra is the edge and immediate top of the tongue when touching the gums of the upper 4 front teeth. Okay, so what is the edge and the immediate top of the tongue? This is your tongue, and so the edge would be this highlighted part right here, and the immediate top is fairly straightforward. It's just a little bit above your edge, right? And what is the roots, or sorry, the gums of your 4 front teeth? It's this part right here. Allah, Allah. So you're not actually touching your teeth, but at the gums. Allah, Allah. Okay, so as mentioned here, a common mistake. So let's compare again to the letter R in English. So the letter R in English, if you have the side view again, this is your mouth, this is your teeth. It's most likely that your tongue is curled up like that. R, R. While the Arabic Ra is actually straight, right? It just goes straight to the makhraj. So the Arabic Ra, your tongue remains straight, while in English, it's actually curled a bit. The examples here, like for example, if you say car, far, you can notice that your tongue is curled, and Ra is straight. If you were to pronounce these words with the Arabic Ra, it would sound like kar, far, right? The next group we'll be doing 3 at once are the letters Za, Sin, and Sad. So the makhraj of Za, Sin, and Sad is the tip of the tongue when touching the edge of the lower 2 front teeth and lightly touching the edge of the upper 2 front teeth. So let's go through that. And your upper teeth, your tongue will be right here, Za. However, to pronounce, the top of your jaw will come down and it will lightly touch your tongue. So this part will come down, the top of your jaw will come down and it will lightly touch the top. Za, Za, Sin, and Sad. Za, Sin, and Sad. However, the difference with Sad is it's one of the letters which are full mouth. So I don't believe I mentioned this earlier, but out of the 29 letters, 7 will always be full mouth, and Sad is one of them. Now, remember when we did the makhraj of Dhal and Za is completely different, and this is a very common mistake. Remember that for Dhal, you have to stick your tongue out more, and it's the edge of the upper 2 front teeth, while here, for this, your tongue is at the bottom of your mouth, while the top part of your top row of teeth come down and lightly touch it. So it's completely different. Let's go through these. Za, Zu, Zi. Then we have Sa, Su, Si. And now this is full mouth. Just a reminder how to pronounce a letter full mouth is you have to pronounce the letter from its makhraj while at the same time raising your tongue. So this would sound like Sa, Su, Si. Again, Sa, Su, Si. Okay, next we have Ya and Shin. The makhraj of Ya and Shin is the center of the tongue when touching the palate. If you remember, this is also the same makhraj as, or similar makhraj as, Jim. So again, the center of the tongue is right here when touching the top part, your top palate. Ya, Yu, Yi, Sha, Shu, Shi. Okay, next we have Dhad. The makhraj of Dha is the center or sides of the tongue when touching the gums of the upper back teeth. Blood is also known as one of the 7 letters that will also be full mouth. So I believe now we have covered 3 of them. We had Kha, Sad, and this one, Lod. This letter is quite unique and it's one of the hardest to pronounce, so we have some tips. Actually, let's go over the makhraj, what is the size of the tongue and what is the gums of the upper back teeth first. So this is your tongue, and let's see who's different color. The wording is the blood is the sides or the sides of the tongue. So this is the back side, which is this part right here or this part right here. So there are 2 ways to pronounce it. First, make your tongue straight, then move it back into your mouth. Now roll out the back of your tongue, whichever side you choose, and touch the gums of the back teeth. So this is the part, you can choose whether to use the left side or the right side or both sides at once. Generally they say that it's easier for the to pronounce it from the left side. If you look at it straight on, the tongue would look kind of like this. Like if you're looking at it from this view, this is the side, this is the right side of your tongue, this is the left side. It would curl up, or if you just use one side, it would look like that or that. That's what it means by when you go up to the side and you curl it up. And the back gums is obviously, so you have your molars here, right? And the gums, if this is your teeth, remember the gums is this part right here. So you would curl this side up, whichever side, if you choose the left side, the right side, or both, you'd curl it up and then you'd touch it against the roots of your molars right here. Roll out the back of your tongue, whichever side you choose, and touch the gums of the back teeth. Then the rest of your tongue will rise up in order to make it full mouth. Remember, to pronounce the letter full mouth, you have to rise your tongue as well. So if you had the side view of your tongue, it would rise up like that. Now, this letter is very hard to pronounce. It will take some practice because initially you might get a wow sound. It's hard to get a sound out of just using the sides of your tongue. But the important thing to remember is while you're practicing, do not use the tip of your tongue. Because if you use the tip, then it just becomes a dal, right? This part will come very close to the roof of your mouth because you're pronouncing, again, see right here, you're pronouncing it full mouth, so this part will come close. However, make sure that you do not use the tip of your tongue because then it just becomes a dal that's full mouth. It's not dod, right? It's wa, wad, wo. You are not allowed to use the tip of your tongue at all. If you use the top, it just becomes a dal that is full mouth. So let's go through this. Wa, lu, we,